all over the place, New York City, Jersey, Philly. Please give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Jason Brown.
Keep it going for Ryan Hill, everybody. How are we doing? I'd say how are we doing Bethlehem, but that's only like 50% of the room tonight. So how are we doing New York? Bethlehem, can we do better than that? You're supposed to wait until I say, how are we doing Bethlehem? And then, all right, let's try it again. How are we doing Bethlehem? I don't know, New York, it sounds like Bethlehem has you. No, I'm not giving you a second chance. Never mind. Forget it. Game's over. We won. I noticed, like, I'll address it. You guys are all like high school students? Yes! And you're here on a trip? Yes! To see stand-up comedy? Yes! Have any of you seen a stand-up comedy show before? No! You can't decide. Like, I perform there's tons of comedy shows in New York. You guys can get out, that's great. Like, and those of you who answered no, go with the person who said yes, and go see a comedy show in New York. Like Ryan said, my name is Jason Brown, and I hate my name, I absolutely hate it. And everybody's like, why? It's like such a plain, normal name, like you don't have a weird name. Does anybody here have a weird name? Somebody's from New York, of course they have a weird name. Does anybody have a weird name they hate? Yeah. My daughter's not here, her name's Aaliyah, she hates it. I know how to name people weird things. Who answered yes? What's your name? Maya. Maya? That's not a bad name. The reason I don't like my name, the reason I don't like to be named Jason Brown is because I want to be a famous stand-up comic. And it's never gonna happen with the name Jason Brown. Like when you Google search Jason Brown, I don't come up, like at all. Like, it's just too common. Like, what does come up, first page right away, is there's a Jason Brown who's wanted by the FBI. And, like, he's not just, like, regular wanted by the FBI. He's on the top 10 most wanted list. And I have outstanding parking tickets. I even have a speeding ticket in New Jersey, but there's no Jersey cops here, so I can say that out loud. And if they ever show up to, like, collect on that, like, I want to know, like, what priors might come up, so I clicked on it. High school students, you guys know what priors are, right? Alright. I don't want to make assumptions. Anyway, so I clicked on it, and Jason Brown is wanted by the FBI for bank robbery. And he robbed $10,000 from an armored car and escaped on a bicycle. Yeah, that's my out. I'm gonna like check the garage. There's no bike. There hasn't been a bike in there since I was 10. I traded it to an Amish kid for a pie. I told that joke in Lancaster. Like I had a show in Lancaster and I told that joke and there was a guy in the front row and he's like, "That's real!" I'm like, right, because fat kids love pies and Amish kids love bikes. That's why I wrote that joke. I've been looking for a job recently. I just started a new job, but I was looking for a job, and on my resume, I put that special skills that I have a Mensa card because I don't have a college degree, and I'm trying to impress possible employers. For those of you who don't know what a Mensa card is, it's when you have a high IQ, you can join this club and get it. And I was in an interview, and the guy saw that on my resume. He's like, "Oh my God, you are in Mensa." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you have the card?" And I was like, "Yeah, it had been in my wallet." I gave it to him, and he's looking at it, right? And he's like, "Oh, it's expired." And I'm like, "Right, but that's not how stupid works." Like August 30th, I just didn't get dumb. I just didn't send them $50. If you hire me, I didn't get that job. Glenn, who's coming out later, he writes for the internet, which sounds cool. Like he just writes stuff and people pay him. And I was like, I do words good. Like maybe I could do a job like that. And so I applied to some of them. And someone must have liked my resume because they wrote me back and asked me for a writing sample. And I was like, oh, I don't have anything published or anything like that. And they're like, well, just send us something that you spent a lot of time and effort on. So I sent them my suicide note. Yeah, I didn't get that job either. Now I have to update that. I don't, like people say like, oh, you still have a day job, like comedy must not be going that well. No, comedy's going great. Like I'm telling jokes to people all the time and they laugh, like that part's great. I just need a day job because I'm a horrible businessman. Like when they asked me, like this is how the negotiation went for the show. They're like, hey, do you want to do jokes in Bethlehem to 100 high school students? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Here's the thing, there should have been a negotiation. Like if I leave here tonight with an envelope and I open that envelope and there are $2 coupons to anything off at Dairy Queen, that's on me. Like that's my fault. I will work for Dairy Queen coupons without asking what the payment is. Does anybody love like tech? Like high school students, you guys like love tech. You gotta have like the latest smartphone your parents bought you probably. Like I love having like the latest smartphone and stuff, but my daughter, she drops hers in the toilet somehow. Like I don't get it. Like I sat on the toilet and dropped my phone 100 times because I'm a man of science, and it hit laugh every time. I don't understand how that works, but she somehow gets it in there and gets it wet and ruins it. And like I've tried to like soak it in rice overnight to dry it out. That doesn't always work. And but like I've dropped a sandwich in the toilet, and the rice trick works every time. Here's the thing about that joke. Not everything you hear on stage is true. I did that joke at a show, and a guy came up to me after the show, and I wasn't first. He came up to me like 45 minutes later. This question was burning in his head. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, what kind of sandwich was that? Peanut butter and jelly, dude. Peanut butter and jelly. Like the water just whisked right off. Don't try that with a Reuben. No, because the rice sucks the mayo out of the coleslaw. It would never work with a Reuben. It's not real. Don't picture me eating a toilet Reuben. You're doing that right now? Is it good? No? Alright, then I won't do that. Oh. So much fun. What were you guys doing in Bethlehem besides coming to see stand-up comedians? You just were on the bus and you're like, hey, we're in Bethlehem. Your senior trip was literally just to come here and see us tell jokes? You know there's like an amusement park within walking distance. Like there's a water park and roller coasters.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. All right, that's cool.
We went to Philly today.
I've heard of Philly. What did you do in Philly?
I
didn't know Philly had a duck boat, but I could have sworn that one kid yelled "love boat." And if you're doing that on the duck boat, you're probably gonna get kicked off. Are you now picturing high school students doing love boat stuff on a duck boat? So you just have like a super visual imagination. That's great. I'm gonna get a drink of water. You guys in high school, do you guys know what you want to do when you grow up? Yeah? Any one person just want to shout out something? Cement sales? I'm really into rocks, but like not geology. A lot of stand-up comics, like they can remember when they wanted to become a stand-up comic, like they can remember the moment. And like I just think I've always wanted to do this, but I can remember the exact moment in time when I realized I had an eating problem. No, I know it. I know I do. It's when I had eaten an entire pack of Oreos by myself. And I know some of you are thinking like, I've done that, or I know somebody who've done that, right? But I did it between the first and second windows at McDonald's. And I specifically because I had forgotten to order milk and they made me drive around the building again. It was not a fun day. All right, guys, we are gonna keep this thing moving. A little bit later on, I'm gonna come back out.